She fluent in that cash talk. Walk in the booth like Naomi on the catwalk. And tell them bitches whoop whoop from the Jaguar. It ain't even right though. Push me and I might go. She ain't getting money. I'm like, what the fuck the hype for? When them bitches bite flow, make my appetite go. Poof, gone, voila, magic. Looking mad good just to pull up on them rampant.
Welcome back to another episode of Unhinged and Immoral. I don't know what camera to look at because
same.
the way this camera is, and then Jamila has also angled herself not straight frontal. I'm looking at her profile, and I'm also kind of she's also kind of looking at me. Don't look straight into that camera. So I wish you guys could see. Well, obviously you saw, but you did see from my perspective. Anyway, whoa, it's been a hell of a week. Some really cool shit happened. Like right before this, Mona, aka Don't Call Me White Girl, hopped into our podcast live and was kind of giving us flowers. Like, oh my God, girl, you know who we are? About a year ago. My time on TikTok really, I don't know when things happened anymore, but I definitely remember that people were saying she wasn't funny, and I was on there like screaming.
Just getting that line.
Yeah. I said, oh, well, you know what? I don't know, like, if she's not your brand of humor, you know, and I can, like, that would be a better argument. And even then we can kind of, you know, pick at that.
And that's how I know you.
Right. No. Even then it's like, well, what do you think is funny? Are you an elitist? You know, but like, I said, but I mean, that bitch is funny. Like, I put her to this day.
Undoubtedly. Somebody ain't doing the math right.
One hand on neck, one hand on frontal. Mona single-handedly got me through the pandemic. That's why that was so crazy. It was us quoting all of her shit back to her. Like, she's probably like, bitch, I fucking know I said it.
No, literally. But yeah, that was
super
cool.
fun. So what you been up to, Jamila? Quick recap of, you know, this weekend. You've been trotting around outside is what I'm saying. I know you went to see Usher.
Yes. Let me tell you something about Usher. First of all, Usher has been in my top faves forever. And on top of that, he's been on like my bucket list of people to see live. So I'm really glad I got to see him live, because if you went to his show, you would know that it was very much, I don't want to say it was a farewell tour, but it was very much a greatest hits tour.
Yes.
And those are the ones you really want to go to. So I'm like very, very grateful that I was able to attend. He did so good. Like, obviously I love Usher so much. So like, I'm singing all the songs. I'm having a good time. I'm lusting over him. And I'm just like,
listen, wait. So we went to the Houston show here in Houston, me, Sabrina. And I was sitting next to Sabrina, and I didn't even post this video on TikTok. I actually didn't remember making it because we were incredibly inebriated at the Houston show. As we should have been. The girlies who were closer to the floor being sexy, I said I couldn't even be at an Usher concert like that. I could only be at an Usher concert how I was. I was in a cute outfit, but I wasn't in anything super sexy. I was in like a more of an upscale like lounge fit. And I needed to be, because I was jumping around. I was drunk. I was screaming, old niggas winning. When he came out in that big red fur, I said, Big Daddy.
He gave us white.
Well, here is the thing.
He gave us white.
He gave y'all white. He gave us red at the Houston show. Oh my God. You know what's crazy?
It was so
Usher was like my very first like obsession. Like when I the first boy I really liked and everyone knew I liked. This was back when he dropped Confessions. And then when I was in third grade.
Everybody was down bad for Confessions.
In third grade, my mom went to the beauty supply or the pawn shop, and she got me this dog tag with Usher on it. Back when wearing dog tags was real cool.
Oh, what a time.
I wish I wore that dog tag into the fucking floor, and I don't even know where like to the point where I was a kid, obviously, so it had scratches and everything on it. It wasn't even nice at the point where the last time I saw it.
The early 2000s accessories alone.
Jamila.
Do you remember the pacifiers that were...
Get out my brain! That was crazy just now. That's literally exactly what... Whoa, that was freaky as fuck, Jamila. I was about to literally say the light up pacifiers, bitch. The ones that used to stroll.
The belts. Bitch, the belts with our name and it would light up and sprinkle.
It was like the going billboard and it would say your name. My cousins all...
Jazz had one that had little JJ, and so I would steal hers and wear it because we were both J's.
But my cousin had the one that was electric, and it had the word sliding across.
She was elite.
She was no elite. I couldn't wait to be a big girl and wear that type. That's why some of the trends coming back. I just made a video about this yesterday. The Jordan heels, the sneaker heels. Y'all will not shame me.
They're absolutely
and I'm so excited because I remember it being 2004 and being in Dillard's or whatever shoe store we were in, and they had like literal Jordan heels. Watching my cousins try them on and thinking, like, this is a core memory. I can't wait to get grown and wear those. And so seeing people drag them for so long has really hurt my spirit because I really like them.
I wish my mom wasn't so much of a throwawayer because I'm so like, we have to keep these things. Like
everything what goes around comes around.
Know.
I'm not even going to lie. My mom is the opposite.
And it's archived.
My mom is the opposite. There was so much. Remember when the Cosby sweaters were coming back in high school? We're aging ourselves. We've been doing that. You know? I don't mind aging myself. I'm okay with my age. But in high school, when the Cosby sweaters were cool, I was in my mama's closet heavy. Like when I say art, like what we're talking about, archiving pieces, like, and my mom was like, and that, you know, everything that goes around and comes around. And she would just let me wear all this old shit she had from the 80s. And I would like, literally, I have pictures of me in like the swishy sweatsuits and stuff. They were really cool at that point as well. All like the 90s, big geometric abstract, what are the symbols or designs is what I'm trying to say.
I only have one thing that my mom kept, and it's this big ass denim coat, like that I've kept on because I remember
the coat. Didn't you bring it to Hampton? I brought mine too. Remember, I had one too. The afterwash. Yes,
it was, and like inside it has all these patterns. I'm like, let me get that.
Yeah, that's hard. It's still hard. I wear that today.
Let me get that.
Matter of fact, I need to find mine.
Absolutely.
I don't know. It's somewhere in here. I've got some.
But everything else, my mama be throwing shit away, and I'm like, damn. If I would have still had that little JJ belt, baby, I would have wore that to the Usher concert. That's a piece. That's what you call a piece.
When I say I was really swooning at Usher, I don't even know. I was telling you this.
No, I was like making eye contact.
Like, oh, you were that close.
I was just imagining myself, and I'm just like, there was some time when he started singing Seduction, baby, I was like.
So he brought out Nelly. And he brought out Carl Thomas during the Houston show. Ooh, and I know your sister was at that show too. Your sister and your cousin were at that show.
That's fun.
And we were literally texting during the show, like, bitch, is that Carl Thomas? And we were like, oh my God. Girl, it was so good.
We got Casey.
At Atlanta.
Yes, we got Ludacris.
Obviously.
Crime Mob. And T.I. T.I. shut that bitch down.
No. You know what? I just saw this tweet, or maybe it was a TikTok, but no, I think it was a tweet. Someone was saying, I hate that this generation of kids don't know this T.I. And it was like, they don't know. They don't know who, like, all they know is this nigga who want to do comedy and say big words.
Say, what you know about?
Like, I was like, no, this guy is actually like a musical legend.
When he came out, and it's like, imagine us being in Atlanta. And
right. No. I can only imagine.
T.I. coming out in a full leather suit. A leather leisure.
No, T.I. at an Usher concert, that is something I would want to be sat for.
It was so good.
No.
It was so good.
I can only imagine. Because when Nelly came out, we were going crazy.
That's so
And fun. I ain't gonna lie, Nelly's still fine. Old niggas winning. I was on TikTok last night talking about Damon Wayans being fine. I thought he was fine in Major Payne when I was a kid. I said, oh, well, I like the way he looked.
He was always. Well,
when he let that hairline go, that's when he got fine. And isn't that the funny part?
Him and Marlon, the finest Wayans.
You don't think Sean fine? Kim is fine as shit.
Him and Marlon are the finest Wayans.
Oh, okay. Well, Kim is very fine. Kim husband is fine as hell, too. Kim got her, I don't know if he white, Hispanic, he's some. He a Rico Suave ass looking motherfucker. He fine as shit.
I just meant who I was attracted to.
Oh, Marlon is fine as shit, though.
Marlon is very
90s
attractive.
Marlon and a goofball.
And he's so funny. Like, oh, he's just my type.
He does have a bit of bisexual energy. Not in a disrespectful way, but we've been talking about your type every week. And I see how Marlon falls into that because he does have a bit of androgyny about him. Because
the more I start to like uncover, like, and I start to drop little peeps, like y'all are starting to hear.
Yes, we're able to identify your exact type. Yes. Like Marlon falls into that. He's very pretty in the face, is what I'm saying. He has soft features.
Exactly.
I get it.
And even with Usher, like Usher is he's always been like known as pretty boy. Like he's very
the androgyny.
Cute. He's very pretty. Such a cute smile with them dimples. I lick a dimple.
That's cute. Okay. Yeah. Well, yes. It's been a lot going on this week with TikTok and the hot topics on TikTok.
Yes.
And there's something that
clearly I'm the hot topic.
I'm not gonna lie, scrolling TikTok and seeing yourself on the live green screens in the back is insane.
Is that me on the Jumbotron?
What the fuck? Is this Play About Us?
I don't know how to mind you,
Oh, sorry. Well, shit.
Now Siri.
Shit.
Siri,
wait. Siri just gagged us. Is this play about us? I don't know how to respond to that.
I'm crying. Yeah, it's funny because like as everything was going down, I'm scrolling on TikTok, and I know they say like take time to yourself, filter out your TikTok so that you. No. Unfortunately, like I have FOMO. I actually do want to know what everybody's saying because I also want to be like aware. I want to know like, okay, like I want to ingest all the things because I actually do enjoy people's commentary and I want to understand like how are y'all ingesting this situation? How are y'all feeling about the situation? I don't want to just be one-sided and only have my viewpoint. So I genuinely want to see how everything was playing out on the timeline, even though it was still trippy to be like, so Jamila, do you know this chick named Jamila? I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of crazy. And then scrolling through, seeing my face, like something crazy. Like y'all always got the craziest fucking screenshots.
No, there was one video where you and homegirl, y'all pictures was very good. Like they took professional headshots. And they took the craziest screenshot of me. And I said, wait, they were talking about the bullying. And I got in the comments, I said, I mean, based on this picture of me, is this not bullying? Because no, the way they used y'all headshots and used me and my mouth was open. I was like, oh my God, that is so crazy. Why would y'all do that? Y'all trying to be funny.
Okay. It was definitely a couple of lives. And without, on TikTok, if you scroll, you can kind of watch live without tapping in.
I love doing that.
I love to do that.
Doing that,
like,
lurking.
You'll never know I was here. I'm lurking from the shadows.
Right.
So I was doing that to a couple of people's lives. I promise you, at this point, if you've made a video about the situation, I've seen it.
Have you blocked anyone?
On all sides. I have blocked a couple of people. For me, it wasn't more so, I wasn't just blocking people who disagreed with me because, I mean, you can have your own thoughts. But there were people who actually lost their fucking mind and was talking about me in a really nasty way. You got to get blocked.
So Darrington was trolling this stud who made a video. Mind you, the video didn't get a whole bunch of views. And it was Darrington who saw it. So that tells you a little bit about his fucking For You page. But the video was nasty. She called us uneducated alcoholics. And that's why Darrington like stitched it and said, yeah, they're...
I didn't see that one,
go to If you go to Darrington's TikTok, he stitched it. And he was laughing. Mind you, he's laughing. He's geeked. He's like, yeah, they're all.
Of course he is, because he's unserious.
No, he was like, yeah, tell him show to the breeze.
Wait, no, I'm actually.
No, I have to bring it up.
To go find it.
And then why he gonna be in the? And then he was like, I know one of them personally, and they're alcoholics. I said, yo. Then Darrington quoted again, like the stud and Darrington going back and forth, and basically the stud.
Down and show you that your G-spot's in your ass.
No, that's the one I was about to tell you. That was the last one. She came back at Darrington was like, I'm gonna show you your G-spots in your ass. And Darrington was like, whoa, wait, watch the whole video.
P.O.P. hold it down and show you that your G-spot's in your asshole.
Son, what the fuck?
Darrington don't take shit seriously. I want to see where she called us alcoholics. Alcoholics is crazy because I barely drink.
So that was the funny part. I was like, well, Jamila actually doesn't drink like that. She's more of a smoker. I'm the drinker. I really but, I think that as someone who thinks everything is funny, I just was like, and also it wasn't my first time on the chopping block on TikTok and being perceived. And I literally just made a video about this last night. I was kind of saying that it never gets less crazy seeing people have such strong opinions about you, but it does get a bit easier. And so I have definitely mastered, okay, I'm at capacity with TikTok today. It's time to turn my phone off for my mental health. And I'm going to go be outside. And that's the one thing I can say about having like a good friend group here in Houston. I just made sure that all last week I was hanging out with my friends for real. Like, the internet news cycle, like we're not even in it no more. You do see how it was like 3-4 days? Okay, that's it.
I was just more so, I don't even know. I was in kind of like a disillusioned state. And the second day, or I guess like the main day of it, like it was so much happening. Of course, we had to record the podcast. We had to do this. But the very next day, like I didn't realize, like I didn't sleep that night. Or I didn't sleep well. So during the day, after I had made like a video or two, I had ordered me some food. I knocked out and I took
I remember I tried to call you and I was going to tell you something. I was going to tell you something.
And that's how I knew. Huh?
I said, let me just talk to you when you get about your nap because you clearly not awake.
Yeah. I literally had to sleep. Like, I was so tired and exhausted. But I'm not gonna lie, like it was a learning experience, just all in all. Like, it was a practicing experience for me, I guess, if you could say. Like, all of this, like, how do you deal with all this pressure? How do you deal with all of these eyes? How do you deal with all of these opinions? How do you deal with being perceived in all these different ways? And I feel like I did okay.
So the whole time we're like, now mind you, we were just talking about this on live. The girls are like, and y'all say y'all PR girls and blah, 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 yeah. First of all, Jamila and I, we don't work in PR. We say it all the time. I know I've said this is something I just enjoy. I enjoy shooting the shits. I enjoyed studying PR. I enjoyed my classes. So it's something that I enjoy talking about. But I don't work in there because I didn't want to work in PR. Do you hear what I'm saying? So I don't consider myself the most expert person in PR. Something I enjoy, and I enjoy rapping about and making guesses about what could possibly happen. But what makes a good PR professional is getting in the field and actually making the mistakes and considering all factors. And this is, I know that y'all think we're dumbass bitches. We don't even handle our own PR. We have PR people. So when people were saying like, oh, they think I'm like, well, you don't really talk about me because I don't handle my own shit because I'm not an idiot.
When people attempt to be shady, first of all, let me tell y'all something. It takes a lot for me to actually take things seriously, to be honest with you. Like, because that's just the type of person I am. I'm very unserious. I grew up in a family where all we did was prank each other. Like, I used to come home and the first thing I'm thinking about is how can I scare my brother to death? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's like, that's the type of family I come from, an unserious family.
And my family gets drunk at funerals. So maybe we are alcoholics. I don't know.
I already don't take things seriously. So when I see you guys attempting to be shady to me, it's like, okay, like, just because you know PR, you study PR, doesn't mean you're good in PR. Well, I never said I was a PR expert. I never said that I was a publicist. I never said that I ever worked in the field. All I said was I have a background in PR because that's what I studied in school. And I did. But is that what I do on my page? Am I claiming to be a PR professional? No, sister, I'm not.
No.
I'm claiming to be funny. That I can stand on.
And that I can stand on, and you will not say that I'm not. I won't allow it.
Seriously. Put a vote out.
Anyway.
Bitch. Let me watch those B words.
You better watch those B
words. I end up in the ocean.
We're going to take a break.
And we're back.
Well, you know, they were, Mecca blocked me, and I knew the videos were coming. I remember I texted you and was like, the videos are coming. Because I just felt like the people who I blocked, the opinions were a bit too strong for me. And this wasn't even really about me. That was a thing. And I just felt like, I don't really feel like you should have access to me. You know, and I've been on a chopping block enough times and remained unbiased enough times on TikTok that it's kind of like, okay, well, this time I'm just going to block. And it shouldn't be no issue, right? Because wasn't that what this was all over? Okay.
Yeah.
And then that was the crazy part. In the video,
now
she literally
like
referenced.
But I thought,
but this is not like how when they made, and that's what I was saying. In the video, she said that. I said, but no, yes, it is. No, yes, we're all doing the same thing. Like, what the fuck is going on? I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone. The way, and then this was the other part that was all of a sudden everyone trying to shame us for being regular. I said, oh, now being regular is not cool.
The funny part about this happening, outside of the main funny parts, is like the amount of hypocrisies and ironies that was happening in live time. It's like,
and that's what I was saying. We have to, when I was texting our publicist, Valise, she was like, go ahead, put that back in the drafts. Because when I felt, when I say I wanted to be like,
not that one.
This don't make no sense, Mecca. Go ahead, just shut up.
Just
hush. And I don't know how Beyonce does it. I don't know how Beyonce doesn't cuss everyone out all the time. Like, I was literally telling Valise this. I was like, I just want to literally tell everyone to shut the fuck up. And the best thing I could do was sing High School Musical. And then when I did that, they were saying I was crashing out. So,
oh, Mecca's crashing out. Crash out, Mecca.
And it's crazy because as a retired crash out, you don't even know what crashing out is. I can show you crashing out, like, seriously. But this is not that. Singing High School Musical into my phone is not that. And then it was also interesting, kind of, people who follow me and know I make 17 videos a day were also like, wait, you guys are simply here just to hate because this is actually regular scheduled programming.
And for me, I've always been like this. Move on. Like, I literally don't like to talk about the same topic anyway, about anything. So, like, the people coming on new videos trying to bring up this topic, girl, I moved on. It's literally 2028.
It's been 84 years. So I finally did put up my Francesca Ramsey wallpaper. Me and Jamila are now matching.
Finally.
And so that's why we're at different angles, because I had to rearrange my recording room or my loft. Mm-hmm. I brought my TV up here, and I have a stand. It's giving like a little living workroom. It's very cute. I'm excited.
Okay, yeah.
To make it kind of like an open concept office studio situation. So I'm definitely not done, but this was really encouraging.
That's why I needed to declutter my office, because I needed it to actually be a functional workspace.
Right.
Because it was a fucking mess, actually.
Speaking of another podcast, Jamila, if a man was with you, if you were with a man for 9 years and you found out he cheated twice, and someone wrote in to us, what would be the advice you would give that young lady?
Divorce.
That's an option.
Divorce.
That's an option.
Divorce is always an option.
It's always an option. Let's consider if we were to tell her not to leave, because I just want to give a nuanced take. As a child of divorce, a nuanced take. My parents did try and make their marriage work for several reasons, obviously, because I do think that they both did want to make their marriage work, but they had a lot of money and shit wrapped up in each other. And, sometimes you got to consider kids, money. Sometimes you really cannot even afford to get divorced. Neither one of you can. And then after my parents did get divorced, we ended up having to move to the hood for a couple years, which is where there's always like, if you're from Sacramento, when people be like, oh, Meadowview, Mecca, and I talk about taking the 81, that was like right after my parents like were separating and divorcing, and finances were different. And it's crazy because you grow up and you're accustomed to a certain type of lifestyle, and all of a sudden you're in like a different area and a different vibe, a different socioeconomic class. We were honestly, me and Darrington, that's one thing I would say about me and my brother. We do think everything's funny. We find joy in everything. And we was rolling with the punches. We got outside with all the neighborhood kids. So that's what is like, we do have a little street cred. We have a little bit because we were outside for a little moment. A little bit. Mm-hmm. But, when stuff like that happens, I do understand why, it's not that just easy to get up and leave. Sometimes you do have to plan.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of, it's even when you're in a relationship that's not marriage, if you're just in a regular boyfriend-girlfriend type of situation, it's sometimes hard to leave in, as I can say from experience. It's not always just the easiest thing. But I will say, being a person that came from a situation where cheating was an actual thing, I knew that I couldn't, that is such a level of disrespect for so many different reasons. Especially because I feel like most of the time, now this isn't all, but most of the time when cheating happens, the relationship was also not good. The relationship was not stellar. So imagine we're already going through tough times and we're already trying to fix ourselves. We're already trying to get over these so-called humps in the relationship, and then you cheat. Damn, nigga, can we at least get over the hump before you know what I'm saying? So then it just adds an extra layer. It's rare that you see a perfectly healthy, amazing relationship and the nigga's cheating or the girl is cheating, because it was,
Well,
so
I feel like the first time my ex cheated, I was really caught off guard. Like legitimately.
Which it can be. Okay, you was really caught off guard. So you felt like y'all's relationship was like pristine, healthy?
I would say the first time my ex cheated, I was legitimately caught off guard. I thought we had a great relationship. Now, the subsequent times after that, it was like, okay, what you're talking about. But the very first time, I legitimately was like, what? I thought like, no.
Just gagged.
I was gooped and gagged. I thought we were doing great. But that just speaks to how naive I was, because hindsight 2020, maybe the signs were there, but maybe not, because he definitely did that very first time. I do feel like at some level we were quote unquote happy because he also didn't show a lot of signs. I think the hindsight signs were more so right around the time I found out like how he reacted to me finding out. But like before that,
started getting weird.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like once, because she came to me as a woman. So once that happened.
Don't we love when that happens? I too have been came to as a woman.
I roll. Would never do that. Anyway, that's a whole separate conversation. You bitches, child. There's no good intentions behind that. But
never.
Before that, he held it together. So I really didn't have a reason to even suspect anything.
Okay.
But what's even making us talk about this is I feel like we're talking without context. The podcast
As always.
Everything is an inside joke. The podcast that Summer Walker and Sexyy Red did, where a lady wrote in, asked the same question, and they just told her to stay. Cheating twice isn't that big of a deal. That is clearly speaking from relationship trauma, which is sad.
Absolutely.
Which is sad.
I said, oh, poor ladies.
I thought Sexyy Red was trolling when she was messing with Chief Keef. I did not realize
so they really date?
That's what they were saying in my TikTok comments, because that coming from Summer was not surprising. No shade. If you listen to Summer's music, if you see how she moves, she's the one who told us that her mom, like everyone in her family's gotten cheated on. Like, okay.
Yeah.
That was not surprising that was her hot take. Sexyy, I was surprised because I genuinely thought this was all a troll. But clearly not. So, I don't know.
It's like, damn. Like, no, I get where they're coming from. Absolutely. As far as feeling like every nigga cheats. Because it's not that I think that, but it's also not that I don't think that. Like, I just have, I've experienced and I have seen a lot of men do some really fucked up shit. So it's like, again, it's not that I think that that's necessarily true that all men cheat, but I also don't not think it.
I think two things can be true at once.
I don't know. Y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't right.
I think we're here. I don't think every man cheats, but I think a lot of men cheat.
I think a good portion of y'all do.
A good amount of them do, but I don't think it's everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that...
I say about 70-30.
Not the actual number. I just think that as a woman, you have to... non-attachment is the name of the game. And I just feel like sometimes, I'm not talking about with the marriage and the money, like what I was talking about before. I'm talking about with your actual feelings. Jada Pinkett Smith changed my fucking life with that Red Table Talk. Bad marriage for life.
Love her down.
No. And this is why niggas hate her. Seriously. When that bitch sat there and said, first of all, both Will and Jada, their philosophies, I see how they're together because they in their conversation, he said something and then she said something, and the whole sum of the conversation or that piece of the conversation really altered my brain chemistry. The first thing that Will said, I believe, was, I cannot make her happy. You like the person you're in a relationship cannot make you happy. You have to come into the relationship happy and secure in yourself. I can only add on to your happiness. That's what Will said. And then Jada said...
he ate with that.
He ate because people often get into relationships like, this is going to make me happy. And baby, how are you going to win when you ain't right within? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're already lost in the sauce, you're just putting another person in the mix, another piece of seasoning in the mix that's still lost in the sauce. Then Jada followed up and said, I don't fear experiences ending. I don't fear great experiences ending because I know God is going to bring me the next great experience. And if you couple being secure and being happy, and then that lack of fear in terms of, I'm not afraid of losing anyone because I know I'm going to get someone else and it's going to be just as great. And so you can, if you think like that, it allows you to enjoy everybody at max potential. You're not worried about, what if this goes wrong? What if it does? What if it does? And if it does, what Money said, I'm gonna get another nigga, and I'm gonna have a great time then. And then I get another nigga, and I have a great time then.
You literally just have to. They're like, there's no other choice but to move on. And what's crazy is, unfortunately, sometimes you don't really learn that until you get through some fucked up, traumatizing action. And I hate that a lot of times we have to like experience the hard shit in order to realize. But I am telling you, y'all know I be saying pre and post. Pre-Noah Jamila was so goddamn lost in my mind about what made sense, about how to do what, how to move, how to date, what makes sense for me, what I even liked. Post Noah Jamila, my God. The way that I date now, the way that I experience men now, the way that I am so not in a chokehold behind certain things. Like, don't get me wrong, I still can. I'm always going to be a very emotional person. I'm very tethered to my emotions.
Personality archetype.
Right. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to become numb. I don't want to become this nonchalant brick wall. But the way that I'm able to be like, okay, this situation didn't end well. Thank you, good sir. And I
thank you for your time.
Move on.
And I did you bid you adieu.
I'm also no longer I'm no longer afraid to also just like say exactly what I feel. Like I used to be so like, oh, I don't want to say this because I don't want him to think I'm this. I don't want to say
that. Do not try and be the cool girl. I don't want you to think I'm a cool girl. I'm not cool. I'm actually the opposite of cool.
Express my emotions.
I'm gonna say everything.
I'm hot. I'm very hot. I'm very emotional, and I don't think there's anything wrong with being emotional. I think it's a superpower. I'm very in tune with my emotions. I am very articulate in the way that I express myself. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Like you should never be confused when I speak, actually, because I'm very careful with my words. It's a skill of actually that I've worked on with being able to communicate my feelings, like that I'm very proud of. So
no, you should be.
Yeah, nigga. Like
I don't like when people make it seem like, you know how like, okay, if you're in a situationship and y'all are talking for 6 months and then y'all stop talking and people act like they're not sad. Well, here's the thing. It's okay to be sad. You talk to someone every day for 6 months. You've literally become accustomed to them. Like, and this is ending. It's what you don't need to be is lost in the sauce over it. But like, don't act like a fucking psychopath. What is it? A psychopath or a sociopath that doesn't have those feelings? Like, that's weird.
Either or.
Just either don't beat it. Like, I don't like how
whichever one it is.
I don't like how, we kind of, it's cool to act like you don't give a fuck. No, it's not. Yeah. I give a fuck about any man I talk to. That's my man.
Yeah, like, because I like you, so obviously that's what I'm talking to.
Why is you being mean to me?
Yeah, like, what's that about?
What's that about?
I remember I was talking to this guy, and I felt like things had just got weird, and so I like was like, hey, like, things are getting weird type shit, like, why are you being weird type shit, that little conversation. And his response was such an immature, elementary response. I had to check him on that. His response was the old, I mean, shit, we not together. I'm gonna stop you right there, nigga. What the fuck? I hate when niggas go to we not
30.
Together.
We're 30.
Fuck you. First of all, bitch, I never thought we was together. So let's start there, nigga.
I don't like when they insinuate that we don't understand that. Like, it's
like, nigga, I fucking know that. And I'm not asking you what we're doing. I know what we're doing, but boyfriend or not, bitch, you should be nice to me. Don't ever in your fucking life think that because you're not my nigga, you need to just start being mean to me. Bitch, be nice every day. I don't like mean niggas. I don't want a mean nigga. Be nice
You know
to
when
me,
the girls
please.
be like, I like a mean ass nigga. Not me. You know what I like? What I do like is a quiet nigga. Like we've talked about this. Like a very calm nigga.
I don't even want no calm nigga.
Because I'm very high energy. Like, I'm a lot.
I need you to be just as hyper as me.
Oh, well, that's a lot.
Because I know. But
that's
actually, you know how people get overstimulated? I too get overstimulated, but I get understimulated. I think I made that up, but I get understimulated.
Okay.
I need consistent stimulation because I'm very like.
Well, I also think, okay, we have lived together. So you know how like when it's like when you're just in the house with like if we're just in the house, I will like go sit down and be quiet. Like I don't have to be on I don't have to be on 10 at all moments. Okay.
Well,
last time I was at Jamila's house when I was actually sleeping on the couch she's sitting on, and I was like in there with the door closed. I just needed a moment. Like my social media was out. I need to recharge.
My social media doesn't stop until I'm laying in the bed to go to sleep. Like I'm always like,
hey, at
anybody want to talk?
At One Music Fest, we had to wake up. And I tried to wake Jamila up. First of all, she was laying like on her back like this. I don't know what we was doing. Everyone was tired, but we had to wake up. And I started at the doorway. I was like, I knocked on her door and nothing. So I opened the door and said, Jamila, nothing. And it's like progressively me creeping closer, Jamila, until I'm literally standing over her. And I'm like, mind you, I'm tapping her leg. She's not feeling it. So then I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this bitch is going to make me hit her. So I give her a very like kind of hard tap on the leg. Mind you, I've been saying her name for all of like 5 to 6 minutes. She goes,
okay, so listen, I am a very deep sleeper. Okay. And actually putting this in context right now, it kind of makes sense because I am so very like
You're depleted.
All day. By the time, baby, I'm ready to go to sleep, I knock the fuck out. Like, my brain has to literally knock me out, and I am dead when I'm sleeping. I am a very deep sleeper. Everybody knows that, like, when I'm asleep, baby, I'm asleep. And I also, because I'm such a deep sleeper, waking me up is you have to be careful waking me up sometimes, because I've had a history of sleepwalking. I haven't sleepwalked in a long time as far as I can tell.
Don't forget that
and
part.
I sleep talk. Yeah, I sleep talk every night, baby. I'm talking every night. Like, that's how active my brain is. I don't ever shut the fuck up. Like, when I said that, I wasn't being I wasn't being hyperbolic. I literally never shut the fuck up.
We're gonna take a break. And we're back.
I actually want to tell a little bit of Jamila lore.
I like that little series that you have on TikTok, the Jamila lore series.
Thank you. I think it's so interesting because I want people to understand that, like, what you guys see on camera is years in the making. Like, there's so much random lore. So, like I said, I sleep talk. And when I was younger, I used to like make up songs and things like that in my sleep. Like, I would sing. Sometimes I still sing in my sleep. It really just depends on how exhausted I am. But there's this one thing that I used to do that used to piss my sister off. And she used to think I was joking, and I was dead the fuck serious. So this is when we shared a room. This is when we was living in Texas. We shared a room, so we shared a bed.
Okay.
And I would tell her, I'd be like, okay, shh, I'm going to sleep. I'm about to watch a movie. And she would be like, what the fuck is this bitch talking about? But when I tell you guys, my mind is entirely too vivid. Like, I can imagine anything I want. And so I just discovered that there's a name for it. It's called synesthesia, something like that.
Really?
Hypersynesthesia. Yes. So whatever I can literally imagine
it.
Anything. I can hear it. I can see it.
Yes.
I can smell it. I can almost taste it. I can hear it. All of those things, all of my senses connect. So I would tell my sister, like, okay, yeah, good night. I'm going to watch a movie. And she would be so irritated when she'd be like, oh, bitch, shut the fuck up. Mind you, my sister doesn't have that. My sister doesn't have an overactive mind to where she can just imagine anything she wants.
But also some
so she thought
brains,
I was faking.
Like, they don't, because I have this too. And this is actually why growing up, I loved reading books. Because I would read books and then, like, okay, Usher, how I liked Usher. So if there was a love interest boy in the book, I would imagine me as the character and imagine Usher as the love interest. And so, like, what you're talking about, like how you're talking about, oh, let's watch a movie, kind of the same me, I would create these movies from the book. So I'd be reading the book and imagining like all of these things happening like in my brain. And I used to sit there and just like really vividly daydream,
so
like watching
funny.
a movie, like exactly, like that's a perfect description. And I kind of remember when you first brought that up, and it's from that video actually that I found out not everyone's brain is like that. And like not everyone can even imagine like pictures in their brain or the way that they
so
think.
interesting to me.
I mean, yeah. I've seen a diagram.
Like everything to me, like even sometimes, and I'd be trying to explain it, it's so weird. Like everything to me is shapes, is colors, is like it's almost a physical thing for me. Things that are non-physical become physical for me inside of my mind. Like music, for example. And when I hear music, I envision colors, I envision shapes, I envision movement. And so that's why I really want to get into directing more music videos, because I can immediately see visions when I'm hearing certain music. I'm like, oh, interesting. This goes with this and this. It's like it's such a physical thing for me. Yeah, it's so interesting. Like even a calendar is very physical for me. Like maybe that's why these calendars don't work. And maybe that's why it still says April. Y'all be clocking me on my videos. But like for me, calendars in my head are like a physical thing. They're a shape. It's almost shaped like a C. And even though January is the first month of the year, January for me is about right here. Okay, right now we're in December, so we're here. And it's just like, we have to like almost jump to January. Like there's a little bit of a space, a little bit of a gap between December and January, obviously because it's a new year, but it's just a little jump. And then we go, and then at the top of my year is May, because that's my birthday, and that's what's important.
That's when your year starts.
Right. Then we make a sharp left turn as we get into the summer. And then the summertime is on the long part of the sea. I'll have to draw a diagram for you guys.
I've never even thought of the calendar as a physical thing. That's so interesting. I've never thought of it like that.
It's so
but
weird
I
to me.
definitely imagine everything. I also, not to sound like this is how I knew I didn't always have the words for manifesting, but I would like just for fun daydream stuff, and then my whole life, like, it'll happen. But I didn't know there was like a name for that. Like, I didn't know that's what that was. And what is that? There's a name for this as well, Jamila. When you just really just sit and daydream, they actually say it's not healthy if you do it too much. When you sit and daydream and imagine. Dreaming? No, not lucid dreaming, but like you sit and you imagine and you just daydream and you just think of all the scenario, like your dream scenarios. And you just, people do it for hours. I used to do it as well. But then what would happen is
I do that all day.
Yeah.
Is that not good?
You're supposed to go actually outside and live life. You're not supposed to just
see.
It can become
I used
detrimental.
to think that I was insane because
yes,
what's it called?
Maladaptive. Thank you, Melisa. Melisa has all the words. Always has all the words. It's called maladaptive daydreaming.
Like, interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melisa.
No, I do that all the time. Like, what's crazy is I actually do. I live in a state of delusion constantly because it actually calms me down because I have very extreme anxiety. So what I do, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but I'm not going to stop. Thank you. So sometimes when I'm driving, I'm listening to music, but sometimes I'll start to drift into like... Now that I'm saying this sounds crazy, but I'll be driving and I'll immediately need silence so that I can zone into my dreams. I'll turn that shit off and
I'm thinking about
and I see a whole new world. The way that I can drive and imagine an entire scenario and then I'll like engulf myself into this dream-like state. And it's like I'm just driving in this trance. Like I do it all the time because it makes me feel very like euphoric. Like I imagine myself like, I don't know, talking to Jimmy Fallon and shit. And then I'll just answer the questions.
I absolutely talk to myself all the time. I think that's part of the reason I'm so good at like TikTok and that type of shit. Because every single scenario I've ever wanted, I've imagined already. And I used to sit in my room and just do an interview. Exactly. Or just act out what I wanted to do.
When people be like, how do you get comfortable with talking to camera yourself? To be honest, I don't know how to tell you that because I've always talked to myself.
I've always done this. This is the most natural thing for me, actually.
I don't know how not to talk to myself. Exactly. And what's crazy is me and Jelani have the same thing. We're like, sometimes when I'm around people for too long, I kind of get like this urge to like talk to myself. I'm like, I actually need to be alone right now so I can talk to myself. Because I know y'all are going to actually look at me fucking crazy. And so I get real, that's when I start getting really anxious. I start fidgeting. I start doing all of these things.
Like, say something.
I actually need to go be alone so I can go talk.
Please don't respond to me. I need to say something. Anyway, what are we eating?
I must speak.
So what I've noticed is I've also done it so much that like the older I've got, that it's turned into like manifestation. Like I feel like this is the reason my little blip in time where I was like dating athletes and like rappers and stuff, I literally like used to dream about that. And I used to dream about it like when I was a kid, but then at the point in which I got grown and I would be doing it and it would be like all of a sudden I open my DMs and the person I was just thinking about was in my DMs. I started freaking myself out. Like, I would be freaking myself the fuck out. And I wouldn't even be doing it with the intention of them DMing me. Like it was not on some, I didn't even realize what I was doing until during the pandemic when me and Kusi were living together. Shout out Kusi, that's my best friend. And she was like, no, that's called manifesting. That's like, you're literally manifesting.
Yeah.
And I was giving her like what I'm doing now, how we're talking. I was like giving her all these examples over the years of how like from college to like middle school, just like, oh, I want that. I want this. This happens. I was thinking about this person. I see them. I randomly think about this random famous nigga who in my head, that's not even like an option. He doesn't know I exist. Like, and he's in my DMs. So like, I was like, oh, and then once I had a name for it and I started actually researching it, and not to sound like this, Jamila, well, I've already told Jamila this. I manifested this podcast, like, but mind you, I have been dragging my feet on it. And that's why I think it kind of, us getting the numbers that we need to get so fast, it didn't surprise me because I've gotten so good at it that you can find out the fastest ways for you to manifest. Daydreaming, maladaptive daydreaming for me, but I've also noticed vision boards, like, because it plays into it. You're constantly seeing it. Because if I'm constantly thinking about it, I'm seeing it too. But if I put it in like a physical
sense. And I made
my
vision board my actually it's still my not my profile. What's this
your
shit
lock
called?
screen.
My wallpaper. Yeah. And I wanted to create it. And what's crazy is I've actually achieved every single thing on my vision board.
Jamila.
Mind you, I made this the year before last. So now it's time to update it because it's like, damn.
I put it in my closet because they say you're not supposed to like let everyone see it. I mean, at different points in time, I've just had it sitting in my room, but I don't really, that's not a big deal to me. What I do is I have a printer now, but I used to just get all these images or print them at work or go to, like the library or whatever, print them. And once I would achieve something, I would just find another goal picture to put over it. So it's like, it's kind of thick now, but I like that. Okay. It's like, it just makes me see everything that I've accomplished. But
yeah, and then you can always go back to it.
Yes. If I need to. But I had a podcast, like when I first hit 100K, which is about like 3 years ago on TikTok. I said, okay, I'm on a podcast. And I put successful podcast, and it was a picture of 2 girls with podcast mics, right? And it was a cartoon. I literally, and I didn't, obviously 3 years ago, I didn't know who the other girl was going to be. We thought it was going to be Sabrina at one point. Like it was just an idea, but that has been on my vision board for literally 3 years. So at the point in which I made the TikTok, and Melisa reached out, and I was on her website, and I was like looking at everything. I was like, oh wow, this is definitely what I'm going for. And I started looking at my vision board, and I was like, I literally had the thought, I'm like, this is going to happen very fast, because I've been looking at successful podcasts for 3 years, and it's been me. I've been dragging my feet on it. So seeing what's been happening with it, I've just been like, yeah, that really makes sense. So I try the vision board out. And if you're looking at it for a long time, and it's because, the thing is, you do have to do guided action. What did Drake say? He has some good one-liners. I'm the type to say a prayer and then go get what I just prayed for.
Drake was good for a couple.
He do have him a couple bars, and that is so real. You do have to do your part. So it's like God, universe, whatever you subscribe to, can only do so much if you're not doing what you need to do. And I feel like this is such a good example of me being like, okay, I want a successful podcast, but for 3 years I didn't do nothing to have a successful podcast. And the moment I did, okay, well, now here's a successful podcast. So,
Yeah.
Food for thought.
I'm very intentional on like just trying to keep that level of delusion that I have, because it's always steered me in the right direction. Even if maybe the vision isn't clear, but I know the direction I should go in. And so what's crazy is the first really, really big step I took into this line of delusion was in 2020. I had just officially graduated, and I started to look for production jobs, and it was grim, because
really,
you'll know if you know, trying to get in, but not even just because of the pandemic, because this was before the actual pandemic started. This was like in January, before it was real spooky. You'll know if you work in production, it is very difficult to work in production when you want to be a director and an actual producer. Like they're not putting on Indeed, hey, we're looking for the next director of Black Panther. Anybody want to just jump on, we can apply.
You got to be in the mix.
That's not how shit works. You have to be in the mix. You have to be selected. You have to have the funds, things like that. And the type of person I am, unfortunately, I just didn't want to go the traditional route and work as a PA and work my way up. And then hopefully in 10, 15, 20 years, I didn't want to do that. So I literally said, fuck it. I'm not applying for production jobs in this way. I'm going to take a pay cut, and I'm not going to work in corporate. I'm not going to do these things. I'm going to take a pay cut and work jobs that allow me flexibility so that I can actually put forth money into these dreams. And when that first stimulus check hit, I spent half of it on a trademark, and I don't regret it.
No, absolutely.
And now I have my production company.
Yeah.
That's it. Fuck this shit. I'm diving full in. And I literally just started to see all of these images pop up in my head and started to envision my life, and just like, this is what I'm going to do. And I don't care how long it takes me to get there. I'm going to do this. Like, fuck all that shit.
Right.
I'm doing this.
No, I believe that. Well,
jump off the cliff.
Sometime you got to jump off the porch. If you know how I moved to Houston, Jamila's sister called a friend conference. They thought I had lost my mind.
We said, listen.
Because I told bitches in the group chat that I'm leaving Baltimore.
Are you okay?
I'm leaving Baltimore. I'm finna be a bottle girl.
Mind you, the bitch had one on vacation, all right?
I'm selling foot pics to get the funds.
And bitch just never left.
When I say Jazz was so concerned, that's why it's funny. She was genuinely like, are you okay?
I even called Kusi. I said, Kusi, I think something's wrong with Mecca. This bitch is out of her mind. This bitch is moving.
And with like full confidence.
Is she okay?
No, because it was actually, I do get it with the timing. It was not too long after the breakup.
That's why I said she might be crazy.
I do see how it appeared like a spiral.
And Kusi's so funny. She's like, sometimes you gotta just let Mecca do Mecca. I'm like, you right. Let's just go and let that baby do
whenever we talk about it, she says that to this day. She's like, I'm not going to hold you, girl. After you moved to Texas, I said, yeah, you have to let Mecca do Mecca, but Mecca do be making that shit happen when she said you're going to make it happen.
Like, he's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Bitch is crazy, but you got to just let that shit even out.
She ain't actually crashed out yet.
Right. Let's just see. Let's just see in the background. Like,
is she gonna crash out this time?
Okay.
Well,
all right. She all right.
Okay. She hit the turn.
Okay, girl.
We're gonna take a break.
And we're back.
Let's get into our favorite segment, Spin It Now. Preface this: we are not PR professionals. We do not work in PR, and we do not call ourselves PR experts. But we are two girlies who studied PR in undergrad, and we enjoy the spin of it all. So be sure to email your salacious, messy situations that you might need us to put a little PR spin on for fun to at unhingedandimoralpod@gmail.com. Jamila, what do we have this week?
Hello, ladies. I want to start off saying I love y'all's content and I think the podcast is a great hit. Also, I'd love to keep my name anonymous. Anyways, I have this ex. It was a short relationship. It is what it is. I'm not tripping about it because we're both in the young 20s getting our life together. But he broke no contact a couple weeks ago asking if I wanted to hang out. I replied no, but it's getting a little cold outside and you know what I'm saying? So now I'm over here thinking about his offer. But my only issue is I don't necessarily want to build something back up, and I kind of think he does. I know it's not a big deal, but roster looking a little dry. What do you think I should do? Shout out to the real HU. But you put blue and red, so I don't know, sister. That's the other HU.
Oh,
but it's okay. We're going to let you live.
Red, that was a mistake.
It was a mistake. It's okay, baby. We forgive you.
I'm not going to lie. Hold on. It's been enough time. We can really laugh. I was laughing about it the first time when this boy who went to Hampton had tweeted. He had tweeted like months ago. He was like, I'm a swallow my pride and vote for Kamala, whatever, rate you. And then like after the election, he quoted that his tweet and said, damn, y'all can't win nothing. For context, Hampton always wins HU. Howard don't never win HU every single time. And I mean, like, just quite recently, they weren't winning 10 years ago when we was there, and I don't know what they be doing.
Yeah,
but that shit
it's like, damn, y'all ain't okay.
Funny. He said, damn, y'all can't win nothing. I was crying. I said,
that's funny.
People like too soon. I said, nah, this is just soon enough. We needed this
actually right on time.
Right on time. All right, sister.
But let's go ahead and get how we're going to spin this situation. Well, first of all, I personally think that I am not a spin backer. That's just me. I'm not a spin the blocker. Okay. Because typically speaking, for my experiences, a lot of my experiences don't always end on the best terms. So like I don't give guys multiple chances and stuff like that. But if it ended on, and it's like y'all were no contact. So if y'all got to the point where it's no contact and y'all have to like, claim to be no contact, like why was that? Like, because I don't even go into like the whole like I'm blocking every nigga I stop talking to. I just literally stop talking to him. It is what it is. Like, so I feel like if y'all were in like a defined no contact, like did it get nasty? Like what was tea? I don't know. But there's nothing wrong with doubling back if you want to get a little boom boom boom. But the moment you double back, you're opening Pandora's box. You're opening back up that wound. So think about if it's worth doing that. Even if you don't want nothing serious, even if you make it very clear, we're just fucking. Does that mean that they always give a damn about that? No, they still be, well, I remember what we used to have. Okay, well, Alicia, I don't want to do this anymore. So you got to think about that.
So I am a double backer, but I do have conditions. I'm not a spin the block on my exes, but I will double back on it, you feel me? But it, like you said, it does. Okay, it is very fair on how it ended. I'm also a serial ghoster. People say this is childish. I believe in ghosting. I'm a ghoster. Oh, so sometimes
you're a ghoster?
I am. Sometimes I be feeling like you said
red flag.
Six Flags. So sometimes I be feeling like we don't even really need to talk. It's not like no discussion that needs to be had. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't. We're not vibing right now.
So when you say you're a ghoster, if somebody hits you up, you just will ignore them?
I might entertain a comment, like a text or two. I can be just as toxic as a voice. I'll be honest.
Oh God, Mecca.
Is
be a lady?
I'm just as bad as the men on that. I will, if you text me, I'll be like, hey, what's up? And I'll text you for like 3-4 texts and then I'll go back to ghosting. But I say that to say, I'm very big on like what the vibe is. And I just feel like we're at the age, you can tell the vibe. We don't need to have no big ass conversation about the vibe not being there. I'm sorry. I just don't have I'm very busy. And I get that's like Jamila's an emotional person, like you said. So you're the type who would be like, so what's going on? We don't need to do all that. Like, even if I'm the one who's feeling like you're being weird to me and I want to know, I'm big on, no, I take the hint. People will always show you where you stand in their life. So I don't need to ask because I already know. And then when I was younger, I used to like ask as well. And men lie. You know what I'm saying? Men, they're never going to be honest about it. They're never going to be like, no, I'm not feeling you. They're going to be like, oh, they're going to gaslight you and make it seem like, oh, it ain't nothing that big. I've just been busy. Yeah, like, no. So it's like, right. At least in my experience, asking doesn't even get you the answers that you want. So you might as well just go ahead, get the fuck, take the hint. And that's it. That's all. But yeah, when that kind of happens, since I do it as well, I don't hold that particularly against men. Like, if you spin back after that, I don't, especially if we were still cool. Like, you know, I tend to have people on Instagram still active. You know what I'm saying? Like pictures. It's okay if you DM me, spin back, cool. It's when like you have done something wrong. You've been out of pocket. You've done, and so no contact.
Because then you're giving them this idea that it's okay to keep doing shit like that. No, they need to learn lessons.
Right. No, I feel like if someone has wronged you, a man specifically, you know, obviously talking about cis hetero relationships, but even anyone,
cuss them out.
You need to cuss them out and leave them alone. I don't know.
And let them know that they're fucking wrong.
I think that especially the older I get, the more hardcore I feel about this. I used to feel like, oh, it's just a mistake. No, you don't make mistakes about people you care about. People you really give a fuck about, you do not do that. I just see enough relationships, especially now, that doesn't happen when they really give a fuck about you. They will make sure to act correctly. They will make sure to do what needs to be done. So if he's not doing that, babes, you are not who you thought you were to him, and you need to go ahead and bow out gracefully like a lady. Okay?
But I have some advice about how to get what you want out of the situation and still be able to leave it alone, because it's clear that you're horny. You said it's cold outside. You want to get your rocks off. So let me tell you what you do with this situation. And clearly, if you're interested in bringing that back, it was good at some point, I would hope. So this is what you do so that you can not allow him to linger. You don't want to plan something out. The moment you start planning a fuckery, it gets deep. So this is what you do, sister. On a night out on the town, you hit him up. You're already drunk. That way he knows it's a wham and a bam.
A wham, bam,
and get the fuck out.
Sir.
And the way that you can make sure that there's no ties, go to his place. That way you can leave.
Get up and leave.
You can get up and go. Get what you got, right? So always hit him up on a night out on the town. You know, start flirting once you're good and drunk. That way on your way out, hey, what you doing tonight? Like, I'm out.
And
hit him on your way out.
On the time tip, just so it doesn't seem like it's too contrived. Because sometimes it absolutely it comes off like, if they start hitting you up at the pregame, it's like, oh, no. Yep. You know you about to be drunk tonight and you want some pussy at the end of the night. So no. You don't want it to seem too contrived. So what you do, make sure it's the point at which you are at the club. And maybe let's say if you leave the club around midnight, that's my time I leave. I'm like, shit, I'm Denzel. If you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, you ain't never got to worry about it. You can always go to the party. Leave about midnight, but you start texting him about 10:30. So just like, oh, I'm at the club, and you should be good and lit by then. If you like me and you like the pregame, you don't want to spend too much money at the club.
And play it cool. Cool.
Just be like, hey, what you want tonight?
Play it cool.
Don't even send the eye. Just be like, hey, what you doing? Even at one point,
be cool.
Like if he's also outside, this can seem very spontaneous. I've done this a lot. This is actually my go-to trick. That's so funny that Jamila brought this up. If he's also outside, just be like, oh my God, where you at? Like if you have him on Instagram or something and you see he's also outside, oh my God, where you at? I'm also outside. Make sure you post it on your story and type shit, just so it seems like a very like spontaneous link up. What you doing after this? Or if you're outside, if you ask him that, not even with the mindset of like, let's link up and let's go to the same place. But if you do, you can go at the very end.
Because it's going to get there anyway.
Yeah. Just be like, oh, let's slide out together or meet me here.
And one thing about a nigga that you used to fuck, y'all see each other out and y'all already drunk. The first thing he want to do is grab that lower back and whisper a little something. Yeah, you look good tonight. What was you?
Because you know, everyone be so iffy about adding a new body, but don't ever think about adding that old body back.
Old body
bitch,
cancels out a new body.
I'm good for it. I love calling it old body.
Science.
It's science.
It's math.
Because that man already know what I like. So, and
that's a negative body.
Let me tell you, I have literally seen someone I used to fuck with out here in Houston. Mind you, at the same club lit. We kind of made eye contact because we were both, and I was like, I didn't want to blow the spot up. Definitely, as I was leaving, I said, what you want tonight? He said, I'm coming to your house. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
No, I think that could be fun.
You remember how to get there?
And then if you would want to keep it going, also, you said you don't want to get serious again. Now, this is where you could slip up. I'm just speaking from experience. That's all I can do. Depending on how he reacts to that, don't make it a regular thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it like... I like to go out every weekend. I'm somewhat of an outside girl still because I'm young and I'm fly and I'm hot. So I'm going to spend my time outside a little bit. I can't go out multiple times in the weekend though. You got me for one day and that's it. That's why Jamila had me fucked up when she was out here. I don't even live like that no more. But if you're outside every weekend, don't call him every weekend. Don't make it a thing.
Exactly.
It has to be
because that's a thing, and it's like, girl,
yeah, don't do that. Because then that will slowly creep back into y'all talking and da-da-da. Or it will turn into
asking questions and shit.
He can fuck you on the weekends and all this type of shit.
Then next thing you know, you texting him for breakfast. Girl.
You know, just make it like a once a month thing, maybe twice a month on a lit night out.
And also, you need to start going out. You talking about something, the roster is low. Build it up. Sister, I don't know what to tell you. Go out and she said she in her early 20s.
Get outside and get in the field, bitch.
You should have niggas on the Rolodex.
When I was 22,
building that Rolodex.
Bitch, when I was 22, I had 18 niggas in my phone. And I was a theater minor.
Always got to take it to hell.
No,
18
I
is
had 18
crazy.
niggas and I was a theater. I was a character actress. I was a different person for each nigga. That's how I know I'm crazy. Because when I say I literally would just take on a different personality with each nigga for fun.
Oh my God.
For fun. Just because for fun.
But no, you're literally so young. Like, you should literally be, girl, you should be trying to figure out which one you want for the night. Like, girl. So, like, I get it. You trying to get back into the swing of things. Like, you probably just got to...
It'll be real easy.
Hit him up for that one night just to get your rocks off, right? But as you start going out, you need to be making eyes to these niggas. You need to be building that Rolodex up, okay? Right. So that you can get that nigga off your line. We don't want old niggas. We don't want them. I've already had you. It gets to a point.
It does get to a point.
I'm bored. I'm no longer stimulated. You're like, I've been there, done that. Had this dick before. It's nothing interesting. Like, seen your face before.
I mean, clearly
so
you let it go and with no contact. So it can't be all that.
Clearly it wasn't tea. So it's like, I ain't gonna, who the fuck on?
Listen, the ones that have been real, real good, I make sure we cool. We ain't got no issues. We ain't no contact. We might not text every day, but we cool. Like, whoa. I want to make sure I can call you when I need.
Up in that story every
hello. It ain't never been no contact. So obviously, what I'm saying is, it can't be that good, sister. It can't be that good.
Happy birthday.
Happy Founders Day. J5 is coming up.
You look real nice today.
Happy Founders Day. Your way into something, sister. I don't know. But what you got the Founders Day, you got the birthdays. We about to get into Christmas. We just had Thanksgiving pass. You got a couple of.
Now is the time to be hitting. Now
is the time to be hitting the niggas.
It's not weird. You know what I'm saying? And then, oh my gosh, girl, you're in college. Like, bruh, college is the easiest time to get niggas because they're every fucking where. And they're just as thirsty as y'all.
Yeah.
If they're thirstier, actually.
I mean, like
niggas are so easy in college.
Niggas always want to slut shame women, but in college, niggas are sluts. Like.
No, there's whores.
Like. If I was a bad bitch, I want to fuck me too. I get it. I get it, child. I want to fuck me too. Hey.
Nah, because for real.
That little song. Because
honestly, my one regret that I always say is like, I actually would have doubled and tripled it in my college days. I feel like I was a little too demure in the first couple. Yeah, a little bit. Because I was too wrapped up in like trying to like these niggas. Like I was like kind of liking them niggas a little bit for no reason. Just because like I was so new to dating and like I I don't know. Like I'm a lover girl. I'm a lover girl, and I really do like a nigga. But I don't be realizing that like I like you, but like that's not that deep.
Yeah.
You know, like now being 28, I'm like, oh yeah, I do like you, but it's like it's not that deep. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I like everybody.
I love everybody.
I do like you, actually.
I was raging so hard against my like very conservative Christian upbringing that I have no regrets. I did everything I fucking wanted to do. Yeah.
So you was out there like a PK.
I could never be as bad as a PK simply because I was not a PK. But my parents were my mother is absolutely in my pastor's inner circle. I am an inner circle child, if that makes sense. Because there are, if you're levels of being churchy, and you have the PK, and then you have the pastor's inner circle, like the people who get invited to the pastor's house. That's my mama.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So I'm not too far removed from PK. Okay, that's why I'm not too far.
I was raised in a very churchy household. I went to church multiple times a week, but I'm also in a household where both my parents smoke weed and drink every day. So
yes, but didn't your daddy play in the church band?
Yes,
the musicians at church tend to be a bit more like the drummer at our church. I feel like everyone who is playing music, they tend to be kind of out there. They tend to be like
horse.
No, well, yes, but what I'm saying is the musicians in the church tend to be the people who you will see at the club. The choir members are the people. The church I go to out here, I done seen folks in the choir who I see every Sunday in the damn choir out at the club. So it's like that don't count. That makes sense.
Musicians.
The musicians always
baby,
be
the musician. Mind you, my daddy, and I'm finna snitch on my daddy real quick. I know he gonna watch. My daddy used to be in the church, right? And it would be like one of them times where they about to like do a prayer, so the musicians would play quietly. My daddy be sitting up there playing Prince on a guitar.
I'm crying.
Quietly. Daddy, I know what that is. Daddy, that is not
that
church music.
Not the club.
Sitting up there playing James Brown riffs on that damn guitar. Please. Daddy, what is you doing?
Stop. That is not of Christ.
Why is the piano player playing How Does It Feel on the keyboards during prayer?
It sounded like y'all was getting down, though. It sounded like y'all was getting down.
It's me trying to pretend to pray, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Excuse me? What the hell?
Is that D'Angelo?
We're going to take a break.
And we're back.
Yeah, I mean, that tracks considering if you know my brother. That makes sense. Our pastor used to give Darrington whoopings, especially after my parents got divorced and my dad had moved back to San Francisco. And I'm telling business right now, Jack. And my mom was like, Darrington was like, 13, 14? Yeah, she would go drop his ass off right.
I know he
right
was
before Bible study and Darrington get that ass toe up, child. Yeah, no, very churchy. So that does track.
Oh yeah, that's
that tracks. Darrington, we're a bit out there. But I have no regrets. I know what I like. I can always tell, like, listen, I can tell you exactly what to do. You need to stick your tongue all the way in my balloon now.
I'm never prepared for anything that's going to come out of your mouth, Mecca.
I need you to do this and hit the neck and do that at the same time. Thank you. I know exactly what I like. I don't have no regrets because you can't tell nobody do that if you ain't been in the field. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I mean, that definitely comes with age and time and experience, and which is why, I think the older you get, the nastier you get is what I have discovered. Like, I don't know, older people, and I truly believe in my heart of hearts that old people are filthy.
No, filthy.
I don't want to know anything that happens beyond 40. Actually, I'm scared of 40. I'm scared of who I'll become. I'm scared of who everybody is, because it's like you can only do so many things. So I know people just start experimenting with shit. But yeah, that's also a part of getting older that I enjoy. You start to learn yourself in more ways than one, and you start to discover things that you like and dislike and want and don't want, and it gets fun.
Pecking your dad in the back of the bus. Shout out, C China.
I'm scraping it up in my hand.
little small.
And scraping it up in your hand.
She is hilarious. I love her. She's so beautiful too.
Back in your pants.
Someone said, I found out she's a lesbian, and then I saw a TikTok that was like, no straight woman could make a masterpiece like this. So it makes sense.
I'm crying. That is
She's
funny.
an icon, the Queen of England. Wow.
Love her down. So it's time for us to read some of these comments.
Let's get into the comments. The nice things you guys have to say.
Remember to leave comments wherever you are listening to the podcast. If you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening, make sure you leave a comment because we will either read them online and give you guys a quick little shout out, or we'll just read them when we're alone at home reading these comments. But either way, we really love and enjoy all the support you guys are giving us. Every last one, baby.
I just have to know.
Okay, so let's get into it. These are Spotify. So this is from Raquel. Oh my God, I've never listened to a podcast before, and this is my first one. Let me just say, I love you girls. This is what I've been missing. It's like I'm talking to my college besties. Thank you for all that you do, and we appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. This is from Indy. I can attest to both sides of 1911. The dogs deaf do it better than the noobs. They don't call them dirty dogs for nothing. Okay, bitch.
Well.
This is from Venus. Mecca, you reading my comment literally is going to my group chat. I'm drunk crying. OMG. I love y'all communication, girlies. Stick together. Well, we'll read this to him, sister. Ooh, Tynesha. I follow you guys' content on TikTok and on the podcast. Every week I look forward to the podcast episode. Yay! _D says, I knew nothing about Cynthia's discourse of us blacks until Wicked came out. So I was like, oh, dang, should I cancel her? Well, she did eat that part up at least. But now I don't know if I can listen to the soundtrack anymore. LOL.
Girl, Defying Gravity is a masterpiece. Go ahead, turn that shit on, child. You should be all right.
I don't give a damn. Dorcas says, the holding the men down online was so funny. OMG, I swear me and Mecca are the same. Like, hell no, I got class tomorrow and I got my own life to live. Literally, don't do that shit.
Don't ask me to get you no damn hot Cheetos. I'm not going to get that for you.
No, fuck you.
Okay, I'm going to be reading the Apple comments. So, oh my God. Always shook, never tired, 1920. Period. Love y'all down. Hey.
Right.
Hey, y'all. I just started listening at work and I love it. I've been looking for more podcasts to add to my collection, and I'm definitely adding this. Listening to y'all is like listening to a TikTok or spilling tea with the girls. Keep going, and I love y'all. Thank you so much, girl. Slay Tay Hart said, here for support. We love Mecca. And Mecca loves you. Oh my God.
Period.
His ace. Ooh, his ace. Girl, okay, I love y'all. I just wanted to show y'all love.
Hey,
I just wanted to show y'all love. I just wanted to show y'all love. I love the fact that y'all are funny, entertaining, and I will be sat weekly. Keep going. Thank you so much. And Sparkle Mills said 10s across the board. Very well done. Okay, period, Apple.
Wow, y'all are so sweet. All right, this is from YouTube comments. Young Sassy 91 says, what's crazy is that people in Chicago knew that R. Kelly had been like that, which is crazy to me. I knew people who knew him from back in the day.
Oh, shit, not old school T.
That's wild as fuck. At Sane Stories said, LMFAO, as a seasoned Greek, everything they said was on point. Didn't miss not near mark. Being a Neo was a time. Same Jamila. GDI me, please. At Joelle J 8879 says, LMAO, yo, the Greek part is so real. Oh my God, never hold it down. Ever.
Don't POP it at all, baby.
Literally. At K_guard15 said, this is my new fave way to start my Thursday. I'm here cackling. Exactly, as you should be. At Mace777, they put a timestamp and said, in relation to R. Kelly and all of the predators, really, what I always say is that when things are turned into jokes, they stop being taken seriously and become normalized. The public should have known about R. Kelly all along, but we all had grown up joking about it. Whole time he was a serial child rapist and predator, making shit that humorous only serves the predators. No facts. All I ever knew about R. Kelly was like super jokey type shit. Like it was so funny that he was freaked out, but like I never knew the severity until I got older. So you ate with that one. At Jan Fawn 6557. I'm happy I've been listening. This was a very informative episode, and y'all have motivated me to continue to continue to pursue producing, writing, and acting. Love that. Y'all are balanced as fuck, and I love supporting. Wow, thank you so much. I love to inspire the girls to get back into the arts. Please. Well,
that was
only y'all knew. Yeah. I'm laughing because the way we had to literally take a 15-minute break because my computer died.
And we have to, we're going to stop this and go put the cameras on the chargers and prepare for the next episode. Well, it's been a hell of a week. Thanks for staying down, and we'll see y'all next time.
Thank y'all so much for supporting and continuing to support through all the mess.
There is no testimony without a test.
Amen. All right, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Bye.
Unhinged and Immoral is hosted by Jamila Bell and Mecca.
Produced by Melisa D. Monts and Diamond MPrint Productions.
Post-production by Coco, Llorens.
Production assistant by Melanie D. Watson.
Music by Audie and Brooklyn Billionaires.
And graphics by Claudia, Choi.